Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take a random character, random weapon, and try to beat Danger 5 with it. Hope you're all doing well. Let's see what the game gives me today. We have the Brawler. Okay, so Brawler, of course, is a character with only 3 weapons, and one of them is a lot worse than the other 2, so let's roll and see what we get. And we have Claw. Claw is the middle weapon for Brawler, but definitely fine. Hand is a lot harder than the other 2 weapons, so I'm glad we didn't roll that. Brawler is a very powerful character with a lot of extra bonuses, of course. Just getting extra attack speed is really good. And should be a relatively smooth character to get a win with in the Abyss. We'll take the harvesting, of course. When you get early harvesting, you should always grab that. Just to remind you, you get bonus attack speed with unarmed weapons, start with a fist, and have 15% dodge, so it's very easy for us to build defensive stats, which is very, very important for the Abyss, where defensive stats are all that are much harder to come by and are very important because of how powerful the enemies are. We lose 50 range, but that doesn't matter at all. The one thing that is worth noting is that Claws scales with your attack speed, but doesn't benefit from the 50% attack speed boost with unarmed weapons, so we still have to buy attack speed in order to increase the damage of our Claws. That looks like it might be a synergy, but it's actually not. We're going to recycle the fist here, of course, and then I will lock both of these items, just very good items to get early. We'll take the Claw, roll, grab another Claw, and I'm going to keep rolling until we can lock another one. If we get our full unarmed weapon set online, that gives us 30% dodge, which lets us play much more aggressively in the early game. Also, with precise weapons, you really want to get your weapon set online as early as possible, because the more critical hits you get, the more damage you do, and the faster you clear enemies. So precise weapons are also an economic benefit if you get the weapon tag online early. I'm okay just tanking a couple hits here and there whenever we need to. We can just walk into enemies. This character has a decent amount of dodge, but also the enemies at this level don't do that much damage. We'll buy a Claw, roll, buy a Claw, roll, and lock another one. Claw's a fairly cheap weapon, so getting 5 and locking a 6th is pretty good. So feeling pretty good about this run so far. The enemies on this map, you want to focus down these clams because they drop additional money and also have a higher chance of dropping consumables and also a higher chance of dropping crates if they drop a consumable. So all of those together make you really want to kill those guys as quickly as possible. I'm going to take the boxing glove for flavor reasons. Knockback is actually not great on these weapons. We don't really want to boost our knockback by too much, but half of damage, base damage on a weapon that attacks very quickly is still good. While Claw only scales with 50% of our melee damage, we definitely still want to buy melee damage. I would love the harvesting, of course, but 2 armor this early is too good to pass up on, and then I'm going to take the level 3 HP upgrade as well, so that gets our defensive stats much higher very early, which is really, really nice. Roll here, and we'll upgrade our Claws. I'll take the Peaceful Bee as well. Maybe I should have, if I'm buying Peaceful Bee, I actually should have bought that before buying the Claw, and I'm definitely buying that, so that was a bit of a mistake. I just got too excited because I saw a weapon upgrade. Roll here and lock another Claw. And obviously I should have 4 more money next wave, because we would have had the additional harvesting from the Peaceful Bee if I'd bought things in the correct order. The negative range on Brawler is more of a penalty on the Abyss, because some of the elite are very hard to fight from close range. They just have a lot of projectiles. So you can run into some trouble if you're not careful, because this character is very short-ranged. We did get that Curse Alien. Let's see. I didn't see where the second one spawned, so we didn't get the second one. Here, I'm just going to take the attack speed. Although we already have tons of attack speed just from the Brawler passive, this also scales the base damage of Claws, so it's very much worth picking up. We'll buy this and this, and then Cute Monkey I will also take. This is a great way to heal for melee characters, and we will take the Mastery as well, Lock a Claw, and Lock Dangerous Bunny. Gummy Berserker I'm not going to take. I don't care that much about increasing my range, and 5% attack speed just isn't worth losing 1 armor for. That was weird. I must have clicked in a weird place, because the game just didn't start the wave, and then I did an attack off the beginning of the wave, so it like buffered my click. Killing that tree, get another curse alien. We only got only got 1 of the guaranteed 2 that spawn in wave 4, but if we can get more this wave, then that will get us the potential to get some really powerful cursed items soon. As well as cursed enemies to spawn, which is worth more money. Here I'm going to take the harvesting. I do want the move speed, but really important to get your harvesting over 21 early, especially on the Abyss, where your economy is generally weaker. Then I'm going to roll here, and I'll just take 5 more harvesting. Wow, that's a super early Vigilante ring. That's going to be worth a lot of % damage, so I'm going to buy it now. This does mean I'm giving up on some weapon levels for 3% damage, so maybe I should have taken the Claw before the Vigilante ring, but I do like just getting the max value out of it. It is worth considering that delaying the Vigilante ring by 1 wave really only costs you 3% damage, so we might have benefited more from buying like the level 2 Claw and upgrading our weapons, buying a Dangerous Bunny and getting a reroll to look for another Claw to lock in the shop. We might have been able to level our weapons quite a bit more if I hadn't bought the Vigilante ring, but if you get a scaling item that early, it just feels more fun to take it right away. And this is a very, very powerful run. I mean, this is a strong character with a weapon that has strong synergy with it, so we're just going to have fun with it. Here, I will just take the max HP. I do want to boost my max HP, and then we will continue to upgrade our claws, take the Dangerous Bunny, Propeller Hat, and Mastery, and roll. I will buy this, Scar for sure. Alien Tongue is actually worth grabbing for this character also. When a big chunk of your healing is consumable healing, pickup range is very good, and it is for this character. So even though we won't be dropping materials far away from ourselves very frequently, pickup range is mostly for healing. And Alien Tongue is good if you're relying on consumables for a lot of your healing, which this character will be. We'll take our free reroll, and wow, what a free reroll into a Cursed Coffee. Amazing. With only 4 curse, that's not that likely, but we're definitely getting some solid luck this run. This is, I believe, my 19th random run in the Abyss map, and we are currently on an 18-win streak. So if we can get this one and next, then we'll have won 20 in a row, which is pretty wild. I did not expect to get to 20 in a row in terms of random runs. That seems like most of the time you're going to get a combination that's too hard to win with before you get to 20, but it is pretty fun that we managed to make it to 18 so far, and hopefully counting. Now, I don't want to get too confident. It's easy to throw a run, even a relatively strong one, if you just get overconfident. I'll keep taking melee damage here, and then dodge is very good for this character. Each point of dodge makes each future point of dodge more efficient. The more dodge you have, the better each point of dodge gets, because it reduces a greater percentage of the incoming damage, the less damage is incoming. And so we're going to buy the 6% dodge here in order to try to get to dodge cap as soon as we can. Here I'm going to take 10 harvesting, very happy about that, and then we will buy all of these items that we have locked. Bunch of good economy items as well. And then this time, I guess I'll take the Peaceful Bee over the other 2 items. Whistle would also be really nice, but the Peaceful Bee is just additional harvesting and gets us even closer to dodge cap. Nail is pretty nice for this character as well. Claw has pretty poor damage scaling, especially because we don't really want to buy that much attack speed. So even just adding 1 base damage to the attack of these weapons will help out a lot, especially given that our Vigilante Ring is going to give us more and more % damage to boost that 1 base damage higher. And we have natural crit chance, so every point of base damage that we get is actually significantly better than it looks. And we can end up with some random points of engineering to boost that further here and there as we continue to buy items. So while it looks like Nail is it's the equivalent of buying 2 melee damage, that's not, for this character, because it scales at 50% melee damage, that's not a terrible purchase anyways, and it has a little bit more utility if we get more engineering later in the run. It's not something that we would go really out of our way to buy, but it's good enough that we do want it. Got that loot alien even without having bought the whistle, so decision worked out. Maybe we'd have gotten 2 if we had bought the whistle last wave. Baby Gecko, I don't really care that much about this item, but it is only 10 materials, and we can get it for having an extra item in if we happen to find Fairy or something like that, we'll have an extra level 1 item. I could just take Harvesting, I could take Speed. Let's just grab more Harvesting at this point. And then here, Recycling Machine will probably pay for itself. Gonna take the Whistle, and I'm gonna grab the upgraded Claw. Oh, actually, we have enough to buy both. Okay. I didn't do the math right there. Power Fist is kind of a fun one. This is a Brawler weapon. Honestly, I think I'm just going to go with the fun weapons here. I know this is sort of breaking the spirit of the random runs, but to be honest, there's no chance that we lose with Brawler with Claw. I just don't see that happening. So we're going to break the rules a little bit and just buy fun weapons when they show up for these runs that are very easy. When I'm playing with characters with harder weapon combinations, I'm not going to do that, as you saw with like my Renegade run where we had to pass on a nuclear launcher. But if I get a character weapon combo that's just very synergistic and powerful, then I'm going to maximize fun. The Power Fist isn't even necessarily better than just sticking with 6 claws, because it does cost us crit chance, but it's just a weapon that you don't get to use that often because there's just few builds that can actually make use of it effectively. And it's such a cool and fun weapon that I just want to give it a shot. Oh, come back. Okay, we got it right before the end. Nice. 3 crates that wave, which is pretty great. We have 44 dodge already, so the riposte is actually going to be a decent amount of extra damage. Glasses. We do have Recycling Machine, so it's much more expensive to buy these random, not very useful items. I'm gonna recycle it. 28 I just don't think is worth 20 range here. Decomposing Flesh is kind of interesting for this character as well. We have very fast attack speed, so we could get quite a bit of lifesteal. It does cost me a bunch of max HP, but I think is worth grabbing this early in the run also. 1 armor would be useful, 5 harvesting would be useful. I'm gonna roll here, I think, though. I think we can do better than that. I'll take 12 damage, and then here I'll take 4 regen, because I do need to build some healing. We can duplicate an item with Mirror, but let's go ahead and buy some leveled up weapons here. So we get the Power Fist. You can see that this still counts as an unarmed weapon, but does decrease our crit chance when we buy it. I'm going to lock the Mirror here in case we roll into something that we want to duplicate. Then we can just lock both of them and we have a free reroll. Is it worth buying Mirror to get a bag? Probably it's not. Obviously, bag when it costs 3 times as much is much worse. And bag is, we want the bag this wave to be more efficient. I'll do one more reroll here with the Mirror, and because we rolled into Fishhook, which getting multiple Fishhooks is so good, I'm going to lock all of these. We'll buy Mirror, then Mirror the Fishhook, and we can potentially curse a bunch of items. I do need to be a little careful going into the Elite Wave. I don't currently have very high armor. Our dodge is good, but our armor isn't great, and our healing isn't great. So I do need to fix that before the next, before the first Elite fight. think the Power Fist has done absolutely nothing so far, by the way. I guess it's killing some enemies, but the explosion is so small that it's not actually doing that much. I always really want to like that item, or this weapon, but it frequently disappoints me in how little it does. It's just because the range is so low on it that your other weapons just kill things before it actually has a chance to hit them. If you had all Power Fists, it might be better, but that's never going to happen because it only shows up at level 3 or higher. Making decent income this wave, but wave 10 is actually... That was actually not decent income, I take it back. Typically on the Abyss, you want to make about 500 on wave 10. It's similar to wave 9 on Crash Zone, in that it is your economy wave. So making only 400 is not a great sign, especially with 63 harvesting. I will buy the luck there, and then I could take armor, I could take just attack speed to boost our damage, I could take dodge. I'm going to take the dodge here. The closer we get to dodge cap again, the better the dodge is, so we want to buy more dodge. I will take the mirror and mirror the fishhook, so now we have double fishhook, and then we'll buy both of these and roll. Take a bag, and I'm just going to level the claw here, lock the metal, because a cursed metal would be great, and roll. I'll lock the ritual as well. Actually, I guess I'll just lock all of these. Any of these, if we get them cursed, would be really nice. It is worth noting that we have the engineering scaling from Nail, so losing 2 engineering does decrease my damage by 0.4 on each of my weapons, but that's not obviously a massive deal that we need to really get bent out of shape about. The reason that we are having lower economy, by the way, is that we haven't found any increased enemy spawns, which are really helpful on the Abyss, because there's just fewer enemies overall on this map. And we haven't gotten that many cursed items, so we don't have that many cursed enemies, which are really important to increase your income. Cursed enemies drop more materials, so the more cursed enemies you have, the better. So the lack of those two things are what is causing this character to have slightly lower income than we wanted. And we haven't found any other, like, major economy items. Our harvesting is pretty good, but we haven't found too many other things that really boost your economy, like a hunting trophy, or obviously black flag, stuff like that would be incredible. Anything along those lines. Here I'm going to take the 9 speed. I definitely want to boost my speed before we fight the elite, and we did get 2 cursed items off our double fishhook. That's great. So we'll take the metal, we'll take the ritual. I'll take Claw Tree, even though it's not cursed, and then I'm going to reroll here. Don't want any of these. I'll reroll again. I will lock the muscly dude. Let's check the damage. Okay, I guess the Power Fist is doing okay. It's not doing great, but it's doing okay. I'll lock the muscly dude. I'm going to reroll past the dynamite. I don't think we need that. Let's lock the ritual and see if we can get that one cursed as well. I don't need a second decomposing flesh. I'm going to roll here. I'm just trying to lock stuff because we have double fishhook. So if we can lock 4 items in the shop, it's worth a ton of value. The Brawler has very fast attack speed, so you should be able to kill elites pretty easily. Typically, how fast you kill elites and whether you can is just a function of your character's attack speed. That's what governs your single target DPS the most, and since Brawler gets big attack speed bonuses, you should be able to kill elites pretty reliably. Now, you do have to be a little careful with your positioning with the lower attack range on the character, but given that we have 50% dodge and decent armor and regeneration, I wasn't that worried about taking on the elite fight. And as I said, Brawler's just very good at killing elites because attack speed is mostly what determines how fast that happens. People often calculate just total DPS in Brotato, assuming that you're always attacking. And that's not often true, or that's often not true. It is often true, but it is also frequently untrue that you're attacking constantly. So often people, I think, overvalue attack speed because they just do the math on how much it increases your DPS and don't take into account that sometimes you're just not hitting stuff. But attack speed is very good for killing enemies where you are just attacking all the time, so high health enemies, single target enemies. And also it's very good for stopping you from getting hit, so it's less for most waves. Attack speed is less of a damage increase, though of course it does that too, and more of a defensive bonus, because it lets you kill enemies before they actually get to hit you. Panda, of course, is a great item here. Obviously, we're happy to lose 5% damage for all of those boosts. And then I will take 4 regen. I do want more healing. Wow, the quad curse. A little more likely because we have double fishhook. But this is a 36% chance for each item, because each of these 20% chances gets rolled independently. So it's one 20% roll and then another 20% roll. So getting the quad roll is 4 36% chances in a row. Somebody feel free to do the math in the comments. Not the most unlikely, but not that likely either. We are going to grab the Cursed Claw, and you can see here that this gets additional damage scaling from both attack speed and melee. So Cursed Claws do wildly more damage than their non-cursed equivalents, because the scaling on both of their damage types goes up. And then, of course, we're going to buy everything else in the shop here. Let's roll. I will take the Weird Food over the Insanity. Weird Food, we don't really need to get this cursed, because the extra 2 consumable heal is plenty. So if I'm going to get one of these 2 cursed, I'd rather the Insanity get cursed. Whetstone I would buy if it got cursed, so we'll buy that. Or we'll lock that, and then I will lock this. Locking the Claw Tree, even though we can't get fishhook value on it, because it's already cursed, so of course we want it. Nice, got a crate out of that tree. Honestly, after playing the Renegade run that I played recently and the Chunky run, where it felt like everything was really, really difficult, sort of felt like playing, underwater, because the shops weren't cooperating, the character weapon combo wasn't very good, and so on. Playing this run just feels so freeing. We're just getting to just run around and kind of just vibe, because the character's so powerful. Brawler is a character I've heard that some people really do struggle with, but even though it's a very strong character. And the reason for that is, my guess is that you are undervaluing defensive stats. And so because of the lower range, you're just taking hits and not being able to heal it back up. So if you are struggling with Brawler, if that's a character that you have had trouble with, just try to make sure you're buying armor, dodge, and regeneration so that you can actually fight enemies up close, which is what the character requires. Don't try to fix the range penalty, because then you're buying stuff that doesn't increase your combat effectiveness, and you're spending money on just not making your character stronger. I think that's the easiest trap to fall into with this character. I'm going to buy this. We'll keep upgrading our claws, but I'm going to go to the level 4 Cursed Claw before I buy the level 2 one. We have pretty solid damage on the level 4 Claw here. Didn't get anything off the fish hooks there, but you know what? We got quad curse last wave, so I'm not going to resent them for not giving us more curse this wave. Starfish, even this late, is going to be nice. The increased enemy damage, a little dangerous, but still worth it. Would I buy 0.2 damage for 31 materials, as well as a unique item for, like, Fairy, if we happen to roll into that? It's probably worth it, because it also will give us a free reroll, since I'm going to buy the rest of this shop. So I think we'll just buy out the book as well. I'll roll here. Flaming Brass Knuckles, that's also a fun one. And you know what? We're just going to take it, because we're doing the fun version of the run. This item is easy to overvalue. It doesn't usually add that much effectiveness to your character. It's a fist, but just better. Because it has the burning damage on top of that. But normally, spending money on the burning damage is just making your character weaker than spending money on anything else. So Flaming Brass Knuckles, not a very good item, but obviously when it's cursed, it's great. We'll lock both of these for our fish hooks and go to the next wave. Oh, I like the starfish. Wow, our character with the decomposing flesh and starfish. Look how weird we look. Some of the items for Abyssal Terrors, they're really well done. They make your potato just look bizarre. As indeed they should for the undersea expansion. It may shock you to learn that I love weird undersea critters, so this expansion is exactly up my alley. There was a time in my life when I thought I was going to be a marine biologist. We have picked up many crates here, which is great as well. I'll take the baby gecko, because why not? Jelly, we've actually got 3 weapons now, so it's a few extra HP. The Cursed Blood Leech we're going to take because it's cursed, and also because it gives us a lot of extra regen. Definitely going to boost the speed here. I will go ahead and combine and buy the Cursed Flaming Knuckles. Cursed Pocket Factory is great, of course. I do wish the Cursed Pocket Factory spawned incendiary turrets. I just think that would be, or laser turrets. I think that would be more awesome. More trees spawning is a very strong upgrade, but I feel like this could have been a more fun upgrade if it spawned a different kind of turret. We actually can't use the level 2 claw. I'll lock the mace here and then reroll. Grind's Magical Leaf, even this late, is worth grabbing. I'll buy the claw. I'll roll again to see if we can lock something, because again, with double fish hook, you just want to lock 4 items every shop as much as it's feasible to do so. We should be able to kill this elite very quickly, but I did take a hit there that hit pretty hard, so I do need to be a little bit careful about my positioning in this wave. And then we have defeated the elite. The Pocket Factory, by the way, again, not because it's a good item for the character. It doesn't really help us that much, but I just love Pocket Factory, and I never pass it. Killing that lamprey. We're getting a lot of trees, actually. I think we have 1 tree item and we have Pocket Factory, so we actually have a lot of extra tree spawns. If we get Lumberjack Shirt so that the factory turrets can help us kill the trees, then that could actually be a meaningful contributor to our damage. Medkit, this solves basically the only problem this character currently has, which is that our healing is only mid, and so just getting an item that boosts our healing dramatically is incredible. Cute Monkey, great. Takes some more damage. Sad Tomato, excellent. Again, just more healing. We'll take the attack speed here to boost our claw damage as well as our power fist damage. Let's take a look at our weapon damage, by the way. So, yeah, you can see the power fist is actually not really outperforming the claws. It's fine. But the 2 cursed items are obviously doing way better. 0 curses again. All right, I take it all back, fish hooks. You're garbage. You're dead to me. But we'll buy Grind's Magical Leaf. We'll take all of these and roll. Small magazine, I would buy this if it got cursed. More attack speed is good. Losing the % damage isn't that bad for this character either. And we just want to lock a bunch of stuff. We have a high pity bonus, so I really want to just lock as many items as possible and try to get cursed items here. One of the better items we could find at this point would be Jerky. Works well with our very high regen, so that would give us even more healing. More armor is kind of the only thing that I feel like we need to win the run. And we don't even really need it, but it's the thing that would impact our ability to win the run the most, is just a little more armor, so that when a hit does get through our 60 dodge, it does less damage. Right now, our armor's a little low for what I like in the Abyss. Two curse aliens on top of each other. That was nice. Although I did interrupt their date in the rudest possible way through murder. Alien Worm, we have 2 consumable healing, but a little more HP and regen is nice. I've actually started to like Alien Worm a lot more. I used to really dislike that item, but it was buffed, and also, there's more, with the existence of Jerky, there's now more sources of consumable healing increases in the game, so you can get away with reducing it a little bit more. Take the 7 crit chance. This, all of our weapons, actually the Power Fist crits for, yeah, lower multipliers. So these two, because they're based on fist and not claw, have lower crit multipliers. We did get the small magazine cursed, but that was the only thing, and that was with a 40% pity bonus. So these fish hooks, after getting a full shop curse, have really been working overtime to prove that they don't work for me. They only give us items if they really want to. I'll upgrade my claw. Take the brass knuckle upgrade. I'll buy the whetstone. Even though we have 28 lifesteal, it's still nice to buy that. Take a cursed boxing glove for sure, and another tree. Roll here. Frozen heart, if this gets cursed, it would be kind of nice as well. We have 0 elemental damage, but this, if it gets cursed, is a pretty big increase to our damage per weapon. I'll roll here. Community support we would buy. Again, this attack speed doesn't count for the claw damage, I don't believe. Oh, black flag. Okay. All right, fishhooks. If you get me the cursed black flag, everything's forgiven here. This is 3 uniques that we could get cursed. I really wish we had Lumberjack shirt. It would make this pocket factory so much more fun. We'd just be spawning turrets everywhere. Killing that. Curse alien. Got a crate spawn as well, which is nice. And because we built a bunch of early harvesting and we got a decent amount of additional economy, our mid-game economy troubles have pretty much been solved, so we're now making pretty good money every wave. It was really just wave 10 where we made less money than you normally would expect, but every other wave we were fine. Reinforced steel. The engineering is not terrible, but I think for 91 and -3 speed, I'd rather just get the money here. I'm going to reroll the regen. I think we can do better, and we're at 60 dodge, so I don't need to buy any more dodge. I'm just going to take the attack speed to scale our damage more. Okay, well, only the insanity got cursed. But we'll take the black flag anyways. It's just going to be worth a bunch of money. So we spent 180 on that, I think. I didn't check the exact amount, but we'll see how long it takes for this to pay off. I will probably just buy all of these. I'll take the community support, because that's good even not cursed. The frozen heart, we really want it to get cursed in order to get the most value out of it. Take the weird food, and then roll. I'll lock a pile of books. I'll buy a claw tree. I'll roll again. Unfortunately, neither of these items are worth grabbing. I guess eye patch with pile of books does work with our pocket factory, so that's kind of a fun synergy, but not a particularly good one, so we're going to pass on it. Got our 3rd elite, and let's see how long it takes to kill that. I did take a hit there, so I do need to be a little bit more careful. I was getting a little bit too reliant on my high dodge, and again, our armor is fine, but definitely could be higher. Dodge, of course, is only good if it actually procs. If you don't dodge, then you don't dodge, so I never like to leave things up to chance. Even on like Ghost, if you have a 90% chance of surviving, 90% chance means 1 in 10 times you lose the run, and that's just an unacceptably high failure rate. Very curious how the black flag will have performed at the end of this wave. Regen potion, even more healing, of course. That's great. Yeah, I'll take a cursed sharp bullet. That'll help our pocket factory out, and it's a cursed item. And cursed items are just good to buy. We did decrease our dodge by 2, so I'm going to take 6, just so we go a little bit higher. And we got the frozen heart, which is going to give us a bit more elemental damage scaling on all of our weapons, which is pretty nice. So that just gives us a solid boost to our weapon damage. I'll take pile of books just for fun here. Baby gecko I'll grab, because getting all 4 of those is kind of fun as well. Small magazine I will lock. I don't really need the HP. Let's roll here. I will lock this, because a cursed claw we would buy. And stone skin, of course, we're going to buy. Roll one more time. Ooh, do we take the audible if we get a cursed nuclear launcher for the end game? I don't even know if that would be good, but it would be fun. So let's go ahead and lock it and see if we can get a cursed nuclear launcher for wave 20. It will probably be less damage than just our actual weapons, but... But since this is sort of the have fun with it run... Oh, I forgot to check Black Flag, but we'll check it this wave and see if we end up making money off of it. Just killing more and more curse aliens here. And there we go. Fertilizer, we're going to recycle. We don't need that. I'll take the bonus luck, because it could come in handy. Toxic sludge, sure. We're maybe buying a nuclear launcher, and then we'll take some regen just so we don't die. Okay, it didn't get cursed, so we're not buying the nuclear launcher. Again, the fishhook's missed on every item here. As you can see, we only have 3 armor. And that is why we're taking so much damage every time we get hit. So that's why I really emphasize buying armor on these characters. I'm gonna roll here and, okay, cursed leather vest, that sort of solves that problem right away. Gentle Alien gives us a lot of stuff to lifesteal off of, so I'm still gonna buy it. It's also more % damage, but more enemies on the final boss wave sounds like a disadvantage, but is actually an advantage, because it just lets you, if you're a lifesteal build, because it just lets you lifesteal off of more things. We'll take some elemental damage and some melee damage, and then, ooh, a cursed claw. Don't mind if I do. Another riposte for more damage as well, could be fun. And we'll take a Cyclops worm. And do some rerolls. Oh yeah, Black Flag, 260 materials, so it didn't quite double its materials, which means it probably wasn't that worth it for only 2 waves, because you usually want to double your material gain on an economy item, but it also gives you 5 curse and 10% more enemies, so you get many more than just the listed materials here. Black Flag... Honestly, even if it didn't have the +1 material when you kill a cursed enemy, this would still be a good item. 5 curse and plus 10% enemies would still just be a great item by itself. So that gives you some sense of just how insane this item is. Keep rolling just for sort of curiosity, and that's it. All of these items would have been pretty nice, but that's a good one. Let's go ahead and see if we can kill the bosses. Took a couple hits there, so I actually do need to be a little bit careful. We do have very high regen, and it goes up over the course of the wave, but because I had some pretty bad positioning and some unlucky % chances on my dodges, I did have to play a little more cautiously for part of the wave there. Took a couple extra hits. Those hits are why I typically suggest that you kill the whale boss first, because these floaty attacks, where it just leaves projectiles all over the map, really constrain your movement and are by far the most dangerous attack that the bosses do on this map. So making sure that it's not doing that makes it much easier for you to win the run. Alright, my friends, that's the Brawler down. Obviously, we did end up buying some non-claw weapons, but you can see... I mean, let's just check the damage. The claws are still doing the most damage of any of them, really. The Cursed Flaming Brass Knuckles is doing fine in terms of damage, but it's worse than the Cursed Claws. So that didn't make a big difference, but was a little bit fun in a run that is relatively smooth sailing. Taking a look at our items here, the Vigilante Ring gave us 45 extra damage, which is awesome. We got that so early. Dangerous Bunny, which we also got very early, saved us 190 materials re-rolling. Recycling Machine was worth 260, so it worked out. The bags were worth 630, so bag, of course, always stays winning. 7 regen from the squid. Decomposing Flesh, we got 12 lifesteal, which is pretty nice as well. These Cursed Rituals were worth a lot of lifesteal also. The Cursed Pocket Factory was fun, not very strong, but very fun. And overall, we just ended up with a really smooth run. If you want to win with the Brawler, I recommend building basically like this. Build your dodge, get more armor than I did here. This armor was too low. We definitely should have had more for the smoothest possible run, though we weren't offered that much. And obviously, you don't need to do the sort of nonsense with the Pocket Factory stuff. But other than that, this is just how to win with this character. Just buy damage, buy defensive stats, play on top of the enemies, and just power your way through them. As always, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you have, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Come back next time and we'll see if we can get to a 20-win streak in the Random series. Excited for that one.